Alrighty, guys, it is 3:30. This Thursday, April 3rd, April 3rd. And yeah, so far the market is just maintaining its weakness and just a flat out negative reaction to the additional tariffs. Everyone thinks the world is coming to an end and we're selling everything. Okay, so I think this is a massive emotional reaction to it. And if you had mine on the sidelines, man, I wish I had. I would be able to step in and pick up some of these stocks at massive, massive discounts. Now, how things develop over time, anyone's guess, but right now the market is just not liking it, and they are heading lower. So this morning we talked about we said we were talking about a potential for the market to retest these well, we're looking for early weakness, put it that way, and we were looking to sell strength at least to get started, and we were looking against these upper areas. Now I can barely see it up here now, but they were up here against these upper areas, and we had the first level here towards the upper end of the overnight, and we never really got up there. So the early weakness potential snapback trade never materialized, and we started seeing some weakness, and they just been holding on. They have been only holding on to the lower end of the range, and now we're seeing some weakness into the close. So the day is definitely on the downside, weakness pointed lower, and that's how we're going to start the overnight. So we'll see how it snaps back when it decides to do it. But right now the market is not happy, and it's having a indigestion, I guess, and selling off. So we're in price discovery to the downside. How far can they take it? Who knows? They're going to push this to the downside, and at this point, it's institutional selling bringing it down. But if they're realistic or not, they don't know what's going to go on with these tariffs, and they're going to really impact the markets, and they're freaking out and selling. So we'll see. There's no point of I mean, at this point, if you're selling, you're selling into the hold. So there's no point of doing anything with that. But at this point, on the future side, you're going to start from the short side, look to sell strength and to see how far it can take it. So early on, we're going to adjust this a little bit. We're going to have an edge here at the 5460s. It's going to be one up here at the 5480s, one at the 5500s. So looking to sell strength going into the overnight, and that's kind of the dynamic. We'll see how bad it gets before the market closes, but definitely we're on the weak side, and the direction is to the downside. So no retracement trade by any means for the reaction from yesterday. I thought it was a massive overreaction. I was kind of hopeful in the beginning for a little snapback, but no, I guess the overall institutional selling is still what's happening. So trading from the short side of the market, nothing more to do it, nothing more to really do about that at this point. Until the market finds some support. I did take one trade on the ES. That was at the when it started taking out that volume weighted mean, a long trade, and you can see that just got stopped out on that. I had a great trade going for a second. I got stopped out. They started taking it low, and there was just no strength building after that. I wasn't going to re-engage the long side on the way down here. The only trade I could see was that early on, fairly strong, fairly aggressive trade, but as it starts weakening, there's no point of stepping in front of it again. The market is weak. They want to sell off, and just stay on the short side at that point. So at this point, we're done in making new lows into the close, and that's just a shitty way to end the day, but that's what it looks like. So look to sell strength for the going into the overnight. If they get up above that 54, 60, 65, so maybe you have a shot at staying range bound in the overnight, but I would just start off range bound bias to the downside, at least to get started in this overnight. Looking at the bonds and the Nasdaq, same story there. The bonds market hasn't been too crazy, been going sideways. So range bound bond market going into the overnight. I would still lean towards the long side, looking to buy weakness, 1909s, 1904s, rotations back up. Not much else to say about the bond market. Just stay. It's going to stay on the long side until the flight to safety is over. And Nasdaq, oh my gosh, Nasdaq is way down here. Yeah, look at that crazy stuff. This is just ugly, ugly, ugly. But then again, some of these big tech stocks are massively on sale right now. So this emotional reaction to the downside opens massive opportunities. I wish I had some more cash on the sidelines. But anyway, so at this point, definitely looking to sell strength at this against the 760s, 820s, up towards the 870s. Well, I'm going to adjust these, but initially it's going to be the 770s, 760 to 70s, and 830s rotations back down again. And we'll see how far they can take it on the downside, but that's kind of what it looks like to me. So let me see here. NASDAQ F1. So if they can get up above that 970, 19,000, maybe have a shot, but they're way down below it, and we're pretty much in price discovery to the downside. So how bad can it get? Who knows? It's just a matter of hold on to your hats. It's no point of you can't do much unless you have protection already in the market. You kind of stuck. So I'm thinking a massive emotional overreaction, but that's but it doesn't alleviate the pain a whole lot. You still have to watch this all your stocks go down in a big way until they find support, and then people figure out how these tariffs are really going to work. So the initial reaction super negative, not completely unexpected, not completely unexpected. But I think the only thing unexpected in the whole thing was like the reciprocal tariffs was a little bit larger than you would have expected, and that's probably what caused the market to have that visible negative reaction. So gold, massive roller coaster on that guy. They were way down here, gap closure on gold, but right back up again. They're holding right at the 3130s. You kind of had to look at the capital flow to get the sense what's going on with gold, but they were all over the place. Way down gap closure from the highs to the lows or to the gap closure low, and then basically back up again. And so there we have it. Massive volatility on gold, but they're back settling in around this midpoint. So that I would just start on range bound on gold, looking to buy down to the 3100s, looking to sell up to the 3170s, and then let it sit there and try to go back and forth. I think they're going to be building value here for a bit. If they start trading above that 3170, 75s, I would start thinking about the long side again, see if they can take this higher. But it's anyone's guess where they're going to go. So massive volatility. I haven't traded gold today. I haven't traded oil. Oil had also a pretty nice move to the downside, complete retracement back to this lower 60s again, 66s again, and then they're going sideways. So this morning we said look out. We're running into support in these down to this 66 level, and that was exactly what happened. They ran it down there, stalled, trade back up, and just went sideways. So this whole move to the upside reversed back into the lower end of the range, and lower oil prices will take that any time of the day. So that's not a bad thing for that to happen. But I would start off range bound on oil and see how far they can take it at this point. All right, so that's the oil and gold. Where's my? There it is. So back to the ES, and I think we're going to just wrap it there. So weak close is what it looks like. Not much else to say about it. So trade with caution in the overnight if you're going to trade it. So far, two trades on the NASDAQ, both shakeouts, so $14 there. One trade on the ES, $10 shakeout on that one. So that's where we are. Alrighty, guys, I'll wrap it there for now. I'll have you back back bright and early in the morning. You guys have a good evening. Maybe pour yourself a cocktail. Huh? Alrighty, guys, later.